Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the first ever Backpost Podcast. Here with me hosting is Apple RL, Carlos,
Yo,
Geigen, and
Hi.
Lance.
Here.
So, we're going to start this week. We're currently on week 3. We're going to start with talking about the previous week review.
yeah.
So,
Yes,
what are your
sir.
guys' thoughts on week 2? Any big
Yo,
games happen?
week 2 was insane. Not gonna lie. I think my favorite
Yeah.
game, Banana Pancakes were Tormented. Yo,
Oh
that
yeah.
game, I feel like Geyser and Carter were peaking, but then Frozen and everyone Tormented just stepped up. I don't know if you guys watched it, but it
Was it
was
was it
like
streamed? I don't know if I
y-
watched it.
I had streamed it in the JRO VC.
Yeah, I believe that game was not streamed on the YouTube, but it did go to Game 7, and it was really intense. Like everyone was hitting clips.
Hmm.
What were your thoughts about it, Alec? You're the one who played it.
Um, really, all I can say it was a very tough match. It went to game 7. Um, Props to Banana Pancakes for putting up a good fight, but in the end, we just won, I guess. I don't really know, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw some of the clips that were hit in those matches, like the the Carter redirect, and like that match. If it was streamed on YouTube, it would be 100% like the most watched match like that this channel has ever put out. Because it was, I mean, it was two of the best teams in the league going off, and they were both popping off. It was pretty crazy.
Another
But
game.
an- another match that happened that was also really intense was the Adrenaline and Ability match. That
Mhm.
also went to Game 7. Like,
Yeah, game still in overtime.
yeah, I watched that match, and like it was played almost like so perfectly from both sides. Like Adrenaline is such like an offensive team, obviously with going full potato and Jenks, two like big ball chasers that are really good at ball chasing. Hate
There's a
to
lot
admit
of
it, but also with like Ayo and Caleb, which are very defensive players, but like that can hold their own against a lot of pressure. And it was like such a big back and forth battle. And it was game one, Oblivion taking it, then game two, Adrenaline taking it. Pretty sure Adrenaline took two in a row, and then Oblivion took like one more, 2-2. Then Adrenaline won 3-2, and then Oblivion won game six. And then in game seven, it was they went to overtime, and it was played at that game was played so perfectly by both teams. I mean, obviously small mistakes, but it was played so perfectly that it literally came down to a mechanical mistake, not even like an open net or like a double commit rotational mistake. Like it came down to like having to literally play perfect to win.
Mhm.
Like if you haven't watched that match, I highly recommend watching it. It was crazy. It was so good.
Now,
Yeah.
Lance, what's your thoughts on what happened?
Well, me personally on the schedule, I'm seeing two big sweeps. We got alternate getting swept, and now please don't take this as negative. Please, please, pretty please. And then we had ultraviolet and gold rockets. Um, let me see. Let me see. Honestly, I I was looking forward to seeing Banana Pancakes and Tormented play. Obviously, because Tormented is probably like one of the most hyped up teams this season, and probably one of the best teams, probably if not the best team. Honestly, I didn't think Banana Pancakes had it in them to like be as fierce as they were last season, but they proved me wrong in that game, making Torment actually sweat and actually have to come up clutch in that game. But I think Banana Pancakes are nowhere near done as far as like the rest of the season goes because they have what the Bears this week or whatever.
Yeah.
But I really feel like Banana Pancakes are still a big threat.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
speaking of this
especially
week,
for a team, especially for a team that has slow starts. The Banana Pancakes, even though I'm pretty sure they have a losing record, if I'm not mistaken. But like, it's like game seven after game seven, or No, they don't have a losing record. They're 1-1 right now,
Hmm.
and both times they first almost swept Ultraviolet, and then now Game 7 against Tormented, which is like one of the top teams this season.
Yeah. And speaking of this week, we're gonna move on to the match of the week. So week 3, what are your guys' thoughts on what's going on?
I think
What's
that
something
Week
big going on?
I think this one's like pretty easy in my opinion. It's Banana Pancake Solar Bears.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
Most
Yeah.
I think that's the most. I think that's the most anticipated match this week, other than of course Tormented and Swole Turtles.
That's wild.
That's gonna be a banger. Like,
That is
will Swole
wild.
Turtles go to Game 6 again? 3 times in a row?
That is
Gold Turtles
wild.
is weird. I respect them as a team. I want to see them win, but I
Yeah.
think the problem is the they switch out a lot their main roster. Like one game Forrest, Sdu, and Mr. E's playing, then Steven, Cody, and then like Forrest would be playing. I feel like they would need to stick to like one roster of like Mr. E, Forrest, and Cody. I think that would work perfectly for them.
Good. I think their strongest variation is probably Mr. E, Steven, or Ocean, and Forrest.
Yeah, that too.
All that sounds great, and I hate to be the person that says this, but sweet.
Sweet.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay, so Swole Turtles has not gotten sweep this season, and they've gone against pretty. They went against Solar Bears and they won 2 of them.
Okay, but Solar Bears is not the best team in the league. Tormented, unfortunately, is.
Well,
Mm.
that's debatable. That is
Oh.
debatable.
Debatable.
Debatable? What's there to
There is no
debate? Come on, bro. Let's be real, bro. Stop trying to be humble, bro. We all know that's not your strong suit, bro.
Yeah.
Being humble is not his strong suit.
But obviously, Banana Man Cakes versus Solar Bears is the matchup of the week. Banana Man Cakes is trying to give Solar Bears their first L and trying to make their records look alike. You know what I'm saying? But Solar Bears trying to keep that win streak going. Honestly, I feel like if this game isn't streamed, I'ma cry.
What, Alec? Do you know when this game's gonna happen? Isn't it Sunday? At what time?
Sunday 9:30. I think.
Yeah,
Sunday,
Sunday
9:30?
9:30. I should
Yeah,
be able
that'll
to
be.
stream it.
Yeah, that'll be a. I can't wait to watch that. I'm not gonna like get in the watch party or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see. Now, I mean, we've pretty much covered the match of the week. Now, let's talk about the player of the week. Who, in your opinion,
Mm.
who
Uh,
is the
Out of
player?
all the
So far, I watched.
for week 2,
I
Oh,
watched.
yeah, for week 2 or
Oh,
week
for
3?
week
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, week 2.
Week 2. Week 2 player of the week.
Frozen.
It is really difficult actually. Like Carter and guys who were peaking, but then Ayo with the defensive masterclass.
Yes. On Oblivion, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Oblivion. Hey, yo, yeah.
Uh,
Unless
It is super hard actually. Like it's got to be like
Yeah.
a winning team at least.
unless you want to give Team Z a little bit of love when they beat 2 GC2s in a clip, Nagi's
And-
recovery, hitting the redirect from the corner in the net. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yes, but it wasn't that impressive.
What?
Look,
He was popping
hey,
off.
let's be honest. Let's be honest. Team Z, good team, not playoff worthy. Like,
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I will agree. I agree
Yeah.
on that. I agree.
That's a true
I
statement.
think, personally, they are a solid team. They just don't have the rotations yet. They all perform individually very well, but when it comes down to team plays or team rotations, it's looking grim, as guys would say.
These guys are-
Yeah. But I'm still going with Frozen. My boy clutched up. You know what I'm saying? You can't ask more from a guy that you really can't ask more for a clutch performance.
Being
Mhm.
untormented, I can say he did carry us. I mean, against Geyser is borderline GC3, incredible player. I think. I mean, him going against Carter alone, is a challenge, but him and Geyser together against Jordan and Frozen, it's definitely tough. So that's the whole reason it came down to Game 7. Incredible team.
Yeah.
I don't know. My
I
player of the
mean,
week.
yeah, go ahead.
My player of the week was Albert. Come on.
Albert. Oh yeah, from
You
kids.
see all
Ooh.
those
From Team
clips
Kids.
he did, all those clips on stream. Whew.
True.
Dude, popping off.
Honestly, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Kids kind of like put in the work after they put on a spectacle like that last game of alternate.
Yeah, bro, they stomped on him, bro.
Bro,
They kind of did.
Beat him up.
like honestly, I would agree somehow. Honestly, if it wasn't for Frozen, I probably would have picked Albert. If I'm being honest, I might pick Albert. He brought up a very good point.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is there anyone else that sparked an interest in
Potato.
week 2? Ooh, Potato.
Yeah,
Potato from
yeah,
Adrenaline.
potato's pretty good. I'm not even gonna hold you. He's kind of the anchor for Team Adrenaline, in my opinion.
Well, I wouldn't say anchor. I'd say more of like the guy who actually, how do I say it? Not the defensive anchor, the other way around. He's the guy who scores the goals. He's the guy who makes the plays happen. You look at their games and he's on the ball most of the time.
True.
Unlike maybe someone like Carter or Frozen, who obviously like cover for the mistakes of their teammates and stay a little back.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys noticed that, but Potato is the type of guy that would start plays. He's the one that puts it on their side, keeps the pressure on.
I would have to agree. Now, honestly, moving on to not team transitions.
Power
What?
ranking.
No. Team
Transactions.
transitions. Yes. Okay. Making sure I didn't skip anything.
You
I
mean
think
transaction?
transactions. Team transactions. I think the only transaction this week was Tormented giving or trading Rizar for Hiko Kame, trading with Ultraviolet. What do you guys thought
Oh yeah,
about
and
that?
Oblivion also dropped Crimson and picked up
Thank
Josh.
God. But
That was the right move.
bro,
They wanted to keep Ariel so that find someone else.
Yeah, I mean, I think AO's worth it. AO is worth it. And now AO's staying.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
let's see. I think that's it for team transactions. Now we're gonna go to Rich's power rankings of week 2.
Oh boy.
Let's see what's going on here. So,
let's see.
does
Who do you put
anyone
at number
want it up?
one?
Or do you want me to
He
list
put.
games?
Okay, we should start.
I
from
have it up. I have it up.
Alright,
Oh, let's start from the bottom. Yeah, let's start from the bottom.
start
Yeah.
from the bottom. Alright, we're gonna take turns, or you want one of us to list them?
Whatever. Well, I'll start. In last place, he has Team Ultraviolet. To be honest, and I think this is like
it's fair.
it's good.
I think,
It's fair.
I mean,
Mainly because-
unfortunately, they got swept week 2 by Golden Rockets. They are an insanely good team. I have to say, we've scrimmed against them. They're a good team, but they're just not performing the way they should be.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
as you mentioned before, they're a good team. But if you 0-2 and you a good team, that's leading me to believe that you just not it.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, it's tough. I think
Yeah.
in 15,
Week one it was.
Huh?
Week one they went 4-1, and then week 2 they got swept.
Week 1 was Banana Pancakes though, which is a really good team. I don't blame them for getting 4-1 against a good team like that, but I think they definitely could have put up a lot better of a fight, or at least won maybe game 7. Because I
Yeah.
mean, we're talking about Wolf, Glacial Frontier and Hiko Kame. Or now it's Wolf, Glacial, and Razar, or Brandon. So it is a different
That
team now, but
that could prove to be.
the team they had was definitely good enough to put up a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, it was.
Now
Who's
at
next?
15th, we have Super Smash Bros. What are you guys' thoughts on them being in 15th?
Uh,
Man,
I kind of don't want to agree with it, but I kind of do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they went against Adrenaline in week 1. They went to game 7. They went against wasn't it your team, Grupo Kaboom, and they definitely probably their best player, in my opinion, is Raptor. He was like against Adrenaline, he was sniping every shot, like almost perfectly placed. I don't know how it went in your series, Himi. You want to tell us
it
what
went.
happened in that series?
Okay,
They
let's.
were they were aggressive. I mean,
Yeah.
he kind of was holding the fort down as far as like offensive pressure, but Nash was kind of the guy that put the shots in that series. But
Yeah.
like their strategy was just it was it was basic. They try
Yeah.
to like demo and separate you guys and get the
Demo.
rotation confused or whatever. But
Hmm.
at the same time, their demoing was putting them out of position. So when they were demoing, they weren't really pushing up. We were on the attack. They would just demo the third man for some reason, which was
Mm.
me.
Got caught in the crossfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
no,
I'm
they
gonna
they
be. I'm
brought the
gonna
crossfire to me. Yeah.
Yeah. But in the Adrenaline series, they actually did not demo that much.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they tried changing that part of their strategy, but at the same time, they didn't go against Game 7 against you guys.
Yeah.
be a little honest. They were a little slow. Okay. Like they're. I expected them to be faster, like faster paced, but
Hmm.
it just didn't happen. Like we pretty much beat them to every single ball. So
Yeah, that's unfortunate for them.
Hmm.
Now, 14th, just so that we don't waste too much time on these predictions. 14th,
Yeah,
Swole Turtles. You guys
I think that's somewhat fair.
yeah.
fair? Fair?
They've yet to get swept, and they've yet to like go to anything other than a game 6. I think they're so close to like beating these top teams, but they just haven't clicked like that yet.
Hmm.
I agree.
I feel like they have the assets and the skill, they just haven't like clicked yet. Maybe it's a slow start, but yeah, I think that's fair for now. For now, at least,
They
I
they
can
are
definitely see them like top 10 maybe one day if they figure things out.
I mean they are 0 and 2 right now, which is mostly why they're down here at the bottom, but honestly,
But then kind of look at the games that they played. They went against
exactly.
Alternate and they went against Solar Bears.
Two
And now they're
tough
and
teams.
now they're going against Tormented, which it's kind of hard to believe they're going to win this one.
Unfair. Not gonna lie. By
Yeah,
scheduling. And
they've
they
had a
kind of
bit of
set them up for failure.
they've had a pretty rough start in the beginning of the season.
But you never know. They could be like Sentinels. They could bounce back like mid-season and still make the playoffs. Sentinels made the finals. Swole Turtles could be the comeback of the century, bruh.
Yeah, and Banana Mekis did that too last season.
Yeah. I mean, I I'm gonna speak the truth. I think the only way they could be top 10 or at least make playoffs is if they use Mr. E for every single game because he really
Yeah,
is. I mean, GC3, he is their he's
Knight
what's
in
holding them
shining
together.
armor.
yeah. On paper, he is the best player on that team.
Picking and especially picking him up as a free agent, they were the first team to jump at him and secure him as theirs. If you
Yeah,
will.
on paper, their team's really good. They just haven't clicked yet.
Yeah. Now 13th alternate. I mean, they were the other team that got swept this week.
Man, and honestly, I'm a little disappointed, mainly because Alternate has like the potential to be a one of those teams that could be like a powerhouse, but they have Noka on their team, who is a like a ones main I've heard, and that doesn't really do well in threes. So his chemistry with his two teammates Z-Pool and can't remember
Ace.
the yeah, his chemistry with those guys, I see them butting heads a lot, especially on defense. They kind of
Oh
remind
yeah, I've
me
seen that.
they remind me of Adrenaline on defense. They're butting heads way too much, and I don't think they trust each other enough on defense.
Yeah, I also get like that vibe where Noka's trying to do everything himself,
Yeah,
and I mean everyone wants to do something, and everyone has to do something if they want to win. Yeah,
yeah,
Noka being that one's main, he like tries to take on everything himself. Tries to go for a lot of solo plays, a lot of like he goes for almost everything.
Yeah.
But definitely on paper, they're a crazy team. They just
I
have to
mean,
figure it
they
out.
also won week 1 against, unfortunately, Small Turtles. But,
Mhm.
I mean, Noka was definitely doing a lot. But they were also doing a lot of passing plays, which we didn't see against, I think
Kids.
they play against Kids, right? Week 2?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. I did not see any passing plays. There was a lot of miscommunication on defense and just I don't know. They didn't do good. They definitely could have done a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
All
Well,
right.
I hate to be this guy. I'm on a time crunch, so if he speed it up a little bit.
All right. All right.
yeah.
Number 12, Oblivion.
I don't agree with that.
It has to be higher.
I think they have to
Honestly,
be way higher.
I switch team Oblivion with
Team
Team
Z.
Z.
Yep.
Team
Team
Z,
Z.
most definitely.
Yeah.
Because Oblivion is definitely a more of a
Powerhouse.
threat
Yeah.
than
I
Team
mean,
Z.
the only reason they might be 12th is because I don't think it's confirmed if AO is staying on their team yet.
No, he is.
He is?
Yeah, supposedly he is.
Yeah,
It's
that's why they
confirmed and
dropped Crimson.
everything?
Yeah, that's
that's
why
why
they
they
dropped
dropped
Crimson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
now I agree with you. They definitely should be a lot higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the next one?
Golden
Golden
Rockets.
Rockets.
I
I
feel
think
like
it
Gold.
has to be higher.
I feel
Yeah,
like they have to be
Gold
a little,
Rockets.
at least a little bit higher.
I put Gold Rockets top 10.
Top 10.
Yeah, top 10, of
Well,
course.
they
Yeah.
they are 11th, so they are right underneath 10. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I
I
mean,
feel like
they went to, what was their game? Week 1 match? Wasn't it Tormented?
Oh yeah, that game
that
was
was
insane.
against Tormented, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they went to game 7, no?
Yeah, that
yeah,
was,
they
that
won
was
the game
crazy.
7, and the
They-
longest OT in history, bruh. Literally, almost like what was it, almost like 5 minutes OT,
Yeah.
Around
Yeah,
there.
they definitely have to be higher.
Mm-hmm.
and then they
Number 10 is,
sweep Ultraviolet.
oh yeah, they also swept Ultraviolet.
Yeah, I think
Underrated
they should definitely
team.
be higher.
Sleeper team.
Now, Team 10 is not something, or not Team 10. The 10th team in the power rankings, Eclipse. Not gonna lie,
Overrated,
overrated. I mean,
highly
I-
overrated. bruh.
I understand that they're
On paper they're like the best team because they have
Yeah,
3
yeah.
GC2s. But when I played with them, they have such a chaotic play style,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I'm not gonna lie, it's so almost impossible to read what they're gonna do. They cut each other off and stuff, and somehow it works. But that chaotic play style is also like really dangerous to have.
It
Yeah,
is.
yes,
And I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
I understand that week 2 they used their sub C-Lub. And Zev
But they-
hasn't been back yet. Zev has been away for all their games so far, so they're not using their
Yeah.
official roster, but they
But they still have K Dog
two GC2s. I mean,
and Schmeat.
they have Chris, Schmeat, and K Dogs, all GC2, and they're still not doing as good as they should be.
Yeah.
Team Z, ninth
Um,
Number
on the
9.
list. Ninth on the list.
Nah, too high.
Nah.
Okay,
Way,
I'm
way
gonna be
too high.
honest. I'm gonna be honest. As a member of Team Z, we kind of did peak and play perfect rotations in the Eclipse game,
hmm
and then we went in a standstill with overconfident going into the Group of Kaboom match because we did kind of beat Eclipse with 2 GC2s and their sub. and then we like didn't play at all. And then we went to Grupo Kaboom. We didn't warm up or anything. I think we just went overconfident just because we beat Eclipse like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but definitely, if these are week 2 rankings,
Yep. Week 2 power rankings.
we,
We're
we
not gonna go into
should.
week 3 to spoil.
Yeah, yeah. If
anything.
these are week 2 power rankings, then maybe I think that's all right. But if it's week 3, considering week 3 we haven't recently, which I'm not gonna mention because it still pains my heart, then yeah, we should be a little lower.
Now number 8, banana pancakes. You guys
I
thoughts on
feel like
banana pancakes and 8?
I feel like they should be above Lightless if I'm being honest.
Yeah, they should be above light list.
If I'm being honest, they above. Not if I'm being honest, they should be above Team Adrenaline. If I'm being honest,
Mhm.
they go above Team Lightless and Adrenaline. Not only did they force a game 7 against what am I thinking?
Tormented.
Yeah, they forced a game 7 against Tormented. They go ahead and they dang it, where am I? Man, they go ahead and
They gentlemen swept Ultraviolet.
yeah, yeah. And
Almost.
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, and they just show that they're not a pushover yet. They may
Yeah.
have they are returning. They trying to take another championship.
Yeah, if Geyser grows to be more consistent in the series, because he's like the type of player that will play really good one half and then like he'll like have his issues in the next half of like series. If he gets more consistent like that, definitely I can see this. I can see Banana making singing a fourth,
Yeah.
and they should be a little higher.
Was their third man Glitchy's current C1. I mean, he did what he could, but I heard he was put on defense most of the time because he was underperforming. That might have impacted them because they didn't really have like
Yeah,
it was
they don't.
basically a
You don't want your
2v3.
worst player as a third.
Exactly.
You don't want your worst
Yeah.
player as a third. Maybe second man, but not as a third.
Even if they're underperforming, I mean it's never good to put them as like a permanent third man.
Yeah. What's the
Now,
next team?
Geigen, I want to hear this from you this time. Team 7, Lightless. What's your thoughts on this?
Overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overrated.
Okay, they beat us. They beat us in week 1, but I still think they're overrated.
Okay, I'll say this. They beat a Team Z that was just warming up. First game on of the like whole J. That was just the first game. They beat a Team Z that was warming up. You saw how Team Z was able to come and beat Eclipse 4-1. That was easy dubs. And then they go and lose to Hysteria, which by no means is a bad team, but overrated
They should
once
have won
again.
that.
Yeah.
They should have won that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lila's a little overrated, in my opinion.
At least force a game 7. I mean, they lost 4-2. I mean, we're talking about Lightless here. The OG
Yeah.
Lightless too.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it is what it is. Number
Yeah,
6.
next team.
Adrenaline.
Nah, it's not it. They I don't even know why they're in the top 10.
Whoa.
Respectfully.
All right.
Respectfully.
All right, hear me out. I'm good friends with Carlos, and he's told me on his journey he had like 17 roster changes before the season even started. And when they first formed, they were grinding the game like crazy, like the three of them. And they told me that they swept a bunch of teams. They swept Banana Man Cake, and they swept Tormented, even though they were using a sub.
It was
I heard.
game 5.
I don't.
It was a best of 5.
Oh, okay. Well, they even okay. I don't know. I don't know the full details, but yeah, they swept Tormented. They went to Game 7 against Eclipse's full roster.
Mm-hmm.
They would have won if it was best of 5, but it was best of 7 and they lost in the end 7. They played almost every team and they either swept or like they still won. They still beat almost every team. They went to comp and they had like a 7-game win streak. Got potato to 1,500 in threes, and then like I don't know. I guess they're just not performing well anymore.
I'm gonna say this: Adrenaline, their defense is the problem. Triple commit after triple commit after triple commit, and then when they needed it most, they missed a wide open net 2 times in a row. Then on defense, they whiff again, and like it hurt them two games out of the series. It hurt them really, really bad, and I just really think that they don't trust each other, especially on defense. I feel like on offense they can be like one of the best teams offensively, but defensively they just are a mess.
And I think they could definitely be good, but I mean, well, we're not going to talk about what happened week 3. That'll be for next week's podcast. But
Yeah.
you'll see. There's definitely should be a big change in the power rankings.
Power rankings for power rankings next week is the.
Number 5, Hysteria. What about this?
I
think
I love
I think
Hysteria.
I think Azera's a great team. One of my friends is on it, being Thomas, even though he's a sub, but he has played in their series.
Mhm.
I think they're a really great team. And Malachi and Damien, I know they're both kind of coming back into the game. They were kind of inactive at first. Definitely, I think low rated.
Yeah. I think
Mhm.
if not 5, definitely 6. Like
Yeah.
they're up there.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, if that's really all we gotta say, I mean, they did good against Lightless. Number 4, Kids, they swept
I
Alternate.
think that's pretty well rated.
Yeah, that's
Kids is a crazy. I still think they're underrated by a lot of people. Mostly because they don't know Albert. But yeah, Albert last season he almost hit GC3 before the season ended. It was like 1690 or something like that, something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely well rated on the power rankings and underrated by many.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's number 3?
they added Sean as a sub. Or, I mean, it says to the starter
Starter.
position, but, I mean, he hasn't played yet as a starter.
Mhm.
They added him before week 2, or, like, midway through week 2. We'll see what happens if he becomes a starter. But, I mean, number 3, Grupo Kaboom. Grupo Kaboom, number 3. What's your thoughts?
I'll let you guys talk about it.
Who'd they play in week 2?
Super
Smash Bros? And then who'd they play in week 1?
4-2. Week 1,
Oblivion.
Oblivion. Yep. And
Oblivion.
it was with them using AO.
Oh yeah, that was the whole. Yeah, that was the whole.
Now, I don't want to sound like that guy, but I feel like if we had our starters against Oblivion in that week 1 game, we would have won.
Oh yeah, they were using a sub in Geo,
Oh, yeah,
and
they
they
were
weren't.
using some random from the spreadsheet.
Yeah. Wait, were you guys using Papa, or was it just you and
No,
Gagan?
Nope.
no. Okay, so here's what happened. So we were gonna use the Kano alley, and then his father decided, "Nah, we're going to the beach at 10 p.m." And we had to find a third really quick, and then we just lost every game.
Yeah,
But-
and they were over the cap too.
Yeah,
With
Oblivion's
AO.
over.
Yeah, they were over the
Yeah.
cap, meaning technically it was illegal.
Yeah, so
Grupo
Grupo
ended up
Kaboom got
getting
the win. But they still beat Super Smash Bros.
Mm-hmm.
In Game 6.
Definitely a good team. Power rankings next week for them too will also be interesting.
Mhm.
We'll see what Rich puts them at. But number
Yeah.
2, Solar Bears.
Solar Bears?
We're almost done. Number 2.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I have not watched a single Solar Bears game.
I'm not gonna lie.
I have
either,
not
bro.
watched.
I think
Yeah,
I have not. I've
Then-
never scrimmed them. I've never heard of anyone that scrimmed them. I've never watched one of their games. But on paper, their team is. Some people would even say a little too good.
I think they're definitely a top 5 team. I don't know about top 2 as of now. They dropped 2 games to Swole Turtles, and I forget who they play week 1.
They
But on Swole
played.
Turtles- they played,
kids.
Kids, yeah,
Yeah,
they
But Soul Turtles was using their full roster now. Their actual starters against them.
yeah, yep,
Yeah.
that is true. They were using Mr. E. That might have been the reason why they got 2 games on them. But
Mhm.
still, I mean, if you're somewhat of a, like.
Yeah.
un-
If
team,
you're a top 2 team, then should you really be going to 6 against a number 14 team.
And again, I mean, no shade to Solar Bears or Swole Turtles. It's just we're speaking our minds out right now.
Yeah, we're just blabbering random thoughts.
Now, number one, I'ma stay quiet. Tormented. Take it away.
Best team on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
You can't do too much when you got Frozen, Jordan, and then Alex, the absolute off-ball pest and menace.
Whoever that may be, never heard of him, never spoken to the man.
Ew, he's probably like.
He has a good reputation.
Ooh.
Ew.
Nah, Jordan, insane player. I think, like, Colin, Jordan, just them two on paper is insane, and then add like Alec, who obviously he's really good for his rank, and Jordan is really good at threes. Colin is like an insanely smart and mechanical player. So I know some would argue and say that he should be SSL. I've heard people say that he should be SSL. On paper, this team's insane, and the results also show for it. You can't argue with that. You really can't argue with that. But I guess we'll see against Swole Turtles. Maybe a huge upset is coming. Just throwing that out there.
Now that we've done the spreadsheet, we've talked about everything. Any final comments that we want to talk about? Anything that you find interesting or just overall want to talk about?
I can't wait for next week's power rankings. They're going to be all over the place. A lot of upsets, a lot of like weird outcomes that no one would have probably expected.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well.
I hope Rick fix them. I hope Rick fix them power rankings. I hope he watches the games a little more, because this week's was a little iffy. But you know what I'm saying? He can bounce back, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed. Now, thank you for tuning in of the first ever Backpost podcast.
Yes, sir.
It was a bit iffy. There's definitely some things that we can do better.
It's our first one.
It is our first one. So
someone got kidnapped in the middle of it.
Yeah, wherever Carlos went.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.